Hi guys, welcome to another video. This is something that caught my attention because it involves us as women, black women, African women in general. We are all seeing the same, right? So this Asian lady, woman, girl, whatsoever, was on a podcast and she felt the need to talk about black women's down parts, like literally talk about how we have specific kind of down parts from the rest of the other women, which didn't sit right with me. Like, it wasn't even in the conversation of what they were talking about, but she felt like it was okay. It was literally okay to bring it up and talk about it. Guys, listen to what she had to say and what people had to respond with, because this was really disrespectful, like completely disrespectful.
Yeah, you guys, okay, I'm gonna say something kind of wild, but it's because I saw it somewhere. But I don't know if we might have to cut it out. But anyways, someone said that the reason why some girls' vagina is tighter than others is because... Huh? No.
You know, Esther, just because you hear something, it doesn't mean that it bears repeating. And I would think that you, being a woman that's part of a community that is constantly over-sexualized and objectified and dehumanized, that you would know to not do that to somebody else. Which is why I find what you said about black women to be particularly troubling.
Yeah. You guys, okay, I'm going to say something kind of wild, but it's because I saw it somewhere. But I don't know if we might have to cut it out. But anyways, someone said that the reason why some girls' vagina is tighter than others is because... Huh? No. It has nothing to do with that. They said that it's because, like, ethnicity-wise, like black men have, are known to have larger dicks. So therefore, the women have
makes sense.
Bigger holes. And then you know how...
Because we know what it feels like to have people talk about us like we're not humans and talk about our body parts and our genitals. You know, Esther, there was this one time this man came up to me and he said, I heard that Asian women have sideways vaginas. And of course I said, well, that's just not true. He said, well, I don't believe you. You're going to have to show me. And that was one of the most dehumanizing things I think I've ever experienced. So for you to sit there on your podcast and talk about black women's bodies the way that you did, it is the intersection of racism and misogyny. There's even a term for it. It's called misogynoir. And really, Esther, like, what was your point? Was your point to just be a fucking pick-me? Which is ironic considering who you were among when you said this. Because the stereotype was what? That black men have big you-know-what. So that conversely means that black women must have big you-know-whats. And for you to say that in a room full of Asian men, where the stereotype is that Asian men have small you-know-whats, so then what? That means that you have a teeny tiny tight little you-know-what? Is that what you were trying to accomplish? Is that what you were trying to do? Do you think that they knew that you were throwing them under the bus while you were also dehumanizing and being racist and misogynistic towards black women? I don't even know if they caught that. I did. And I honestly don't know what the future holds for you and your podcast, but what I do know is I believe that you owe black women a deep and sincere apology. Now, I don't know if they're going to accept it, but you at the very least should be issuing it.
So black women have naturally deep, wide-set vaginas because black men have big Now, if I get on here and say I know for a fact hers is built like a dead squid limb, smells like a gallon of garbage juice, 2 bottles of expired buttermilk ranch from the farmer's market, and a dead Bichon Frise, I'm going to be a bitch, right? It's okay to get on the internet and say crazy shit, but when you are saying crazy shit for the validation of men, if you think that you have to be a dead brain dizzy to get some dick, my sister, you are trying too hard. They will tree. Next time, just try shutting the
Hi, Esther. Under the Influence podcast. Can I see you in my office? Nothing pains me more. Nothing makes me feel more disgusted. Nothing twists my guts around as much as seeing a fellow Asian woman speaking about another person of color like that. I think I'm late on processing all of that because I couldn't bring myself to watch the full clip, and I don't know. I think what pisses me off about all of this is, like, out of all ethnicities, out of all races, out of all genders, we should know. Asian women know what that feels like. To be objectified like that, to be spoken about in such an explicit manner without anyone's consent, is so humiliating. The dehumanization, because that's what you did. You dehumanized all black women. And for what? For why? To make a few men laugh? These are the same men that would speak about you in this explicit manner if you weren't in the room with them. I'm just unsure of what the goal was here. Were you trying to seem funny or trying to seem smart? Because you did neither. Actual funny or intelligent people never feel the need to push anyone else down in order to make themselves seem that way. They just are. We have first-handedly seen the ramifications of what happens when we speak about women of color this way. So if you or any of your buddies saw that clip and thought, that was so funny, hey guys, we should start a podcast, cease. Post tense. I am begging, do not go to Best Buy. Do not get those mics.
Let me get this straight. I get to be dehumanized, experience misogyny, experience racism, be sexualized by all men, including my own men and my race. I also get to be stereotyped as the angry black woman, ghetto, loud, ratchet, and nappy-headed. Oh, and lazy. And now we've added a new one. Now I also have to worry about men looking downstairs, wondering, how loose is it? Thank you, Esther.
Okay, so a lot of you guys have been asking me to speak on the Esther situation. Like, I've been seeing your tags. I just wanted to let other creators talk about it first, and I wanted to boost their posts and stuff like that. But yes, Esther is not just a pick-me-ass bitch. She's a racist pick-me-ass bitch. And I saw this coming. I'm sorry, I told you. No person who sits in a room full of men with mics and lets them say stuff like that is normal. And I said, just imagine the type of dialogues that take place when the cameras aren't there. And in the clip, she's like, oh, maybe we have to cut this out. And then she proceeded to say the most fucked up shit. Like, like there was a study that was done. Yeah, was it funded by the KKK? And I'm gonna say something nobody else wants to say, okay? If she wanted to talk about how her cooch is so tight, she should have been like, my cooch is so tight because my boyfriend is so tiny. Do you notice how she had to do it by bringing not just another girl down, by a whole race group down? Bitch, what the is wrong with you? You are so embarrassing.
Black women, oh, black women. I heard that about black women. I heard this about black women. Did you know black women? Do you know black women? Black women hair, black women, black women, black women, black women, black women. These black women are aggressive, black women. Now we're going to speak about black women vagina. Like on TikTok, every 2 days or 3 days, you have someone talking about black women. And most of them are not black women. But they know so many things about black women. I heard. I don't know if we have to cut it off, but I heard. How about open a book? How about before talking about something on your podcast, you educate yourself? How about going back to school maybe? No, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. And one of the friends said, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So she said, yeah, black men have big dicks, so baby, that's why. And one said, yeah. And the other one who clicked and realized, okay, oh. So she's saying that we have small dick then. If we have to agree with her theory, it means us. I don't know if they are Korean, I would say Korean, we have small dicks. And of course, the women, they have a tighter vagina. Yeah, so they are winning, but the men, Korean men have a smaller dick. No, that doesn't make sense. I cannot agree with this theory. They only can agree when it's about black women. But when the other one said, no, she's saying something. No, I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree only not because he's trying to defend black women, no, because he's trying to defend his dickwood. He's trying to make people understand. No, I don't have a small dick. I don't.
As you've seen in the video, that is what she said, and it's really dehumanizing when you have to get on the internet and see how people see you, perceive you. I've started and I realized that when, let's say, black women say something, it's considered to be rude and aggressive. When you speak up your mind, you're not, being good to the culture. Like, let me say also, as an African woman, there are some things that I do not accept to do, and they're like, oh, you're not traditional anymore, or you don't want to be traditional. But then it's like when African women or black women say something, there's always issues. And then someone to come on the internet and say we have different parts downstairs than the rest of the women, it's just weird. Just because there's a stereotype of what they say about black men having the best downstairs. I mean, everyone has heard about that, I'm pretty sure. What makes you think we are the same? And the thing is, even if it might be true in the way that you put it out, why come on the internet and say something as like that? Why not talk about your own women in your culture or in your race as women? Like you would say Asian women are this kind of whatsoever, but she had to talk about black women. And I mean, this is the thing, these people know that when they talk about black people or when they say something shitty or bad about black people, we are going to react, and of course we are going to talk about it and give them more exposure. And it's kind of sad that I'm also talking about it, but there are some things you just cannot avoid to talk about. But then, like I said, they know when to say something that can boost whatever they have. Like they know we consume a lot of things and we are emotionally non-strong, if I could put it right. So they know we are going to react about it, because there are so many times when you come out and talk about other races of people and they don't respond. But then they know when you talk about something about black people, especially a negative thing, they are going to come out and attack you or talk about it and cuss you out. So it's normal to them, and I think they love this. They do. But yeah, I just had to say something, and I'm glad that her own people, Asian women, when they heard about this, they came out and they were like, this is not acceptable. You're part of the minority group. You could not, and why would you say such a statement about fellow women? Like, what does it add on to you, and who asked you? Like, who asked you, So I really like when I come across when also the people from the same community call out their own for saying such nonsense and trying to portray, especially black women a certain way, if that makes sense. And also, sometimes I don't even like when people push these people to come out and apologize, because why would you force someone to apologize when they said something clearly that they most probably believe? And if they were able to come out and say such a thing, why would they come out and you want them to pretend to apologize to make you feel good? Like, let them be. They're just racist people that look for attention. And it's just wild. It's just wild, guys. That is it for me in the video. Let me know what you think about this. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video.